What is that? Spark FM.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. We lost a real one, y'all. We lost a real one. And so I'm going to go ahead and play Cicely Tyson, a compilation of just her. And so I can't believe she's gone. She passed away at 94 years old. She was always looking like she was in good health and in good spirits, and just she was dope as an actress, as an activist, as a feminist, just as a woman taking up space. And now she is no longer with us, but she is an ancestor, so we could tap into that energy all day long. I'm just going to play this, a little bit of her, so we can just, I wish I had some liquid so I could pour out.
Could not ask for anything better than this.
Gratitude, graciousness, and grit. 3 words which describe the fabric that is
Cicely Tyson.
As one of President Obama's last official acts of office, he awarded the 92 years young actress and activist the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And for good reason, because more than an award-winning actress, Cicely is a groundbreaking cultural luminary, paving the way for a generation who walk behind. Duly noted when she received a Kennedy Center honor in 2015.
I would not exist if it were not for Cicely Tyson. She has taught me so much about how to be who I am in this business and in this life.
After witnessing certain things, after experiencing certain things in my career, I realized that I could not afford the luxury of just being an actress. There were certain issues that I wanted to address, and I chose my career as my platform.
We'll have so blooming many kids you won't be able to find a place to walk in the house.
A career spanning 6 decades with no end in sight. A sought-after powerhouse making regular appearances in film, television, and stage.
I guess the good Lord is with me today. I wonder why the Lord isn't with us every day. It would be so nice if he was. Yeah.
In her Tony-winning A Trip to Bountiful performance, she played an elderly woman yearning to go back to her birthplace one last time.
When you've lived longer than your house and your family, you've lived too long.
But in real life, going home is something the legendary actress does quite often. What most of us merely read in history books, Cicely Tyson experienced firsthand. Born in New York City's Harlem neighborhood at the dawn of the Roaring '20s, a time of gangsters and prohibition. Her formative years, the Great Depression of the 1930s, where millions of Americans lived on the brink of homelessness and starvation. As a teenager, she watched as friends and neighbors marched off to fight the fascists. But at home, there was another battle where she was often on the front line.
I had an interview scheduled at a very prominent hotel. I came in with my raincoat and a couple of other things. And I went to the check booth, and I simply was going to ask her where I could find this person that I was to be interviewed for. She took one look at me and she said, "Oh, we don't take those here. You have to go around the back." So I looked at her and I smiled. And I said, "Excuse me, but I was not going to ask you to take my coat and check it, which is your job. I simply was going to ask you for direction. But I will take this moment to let you know, just in case you don't, that every one of us that look like me are not all in a position of servitude. I don't look for anything or ask for anything other than to be treated like a human being. That's all." I wasn't one of those children who went to the movies on Saturday and looked at the screen and say, I want to be a movie star. It happened quite by accident. I just got bored to death one day typing on a typewriter, and I pushed myself away from the desk, and I announced to whosoever will, I was sure that God did not put me on the face of the earth to bang on a typewriter for the rest of my life. There must be something else for me to do. I didn't know what it was, but I was going to find it.
It actually found her. Cicely's striking beauty got the attention of a prominent fashion photographer, spawning an impressive modeling career. However, it wasn't long before her focus shifted to acting, a path that would sever her relationship with her mother for years.
My mother wasn't happy about what I was doing. She didn't like it. She told me I couldn't stay in her house and do that, whatever that was. Being brought up in the church, you learn that a woman has to carry herself in a certain way, and you follow the teachings of the church. She really thought I was going to live in a den of iniquity, because that's what show business meant to her. It didn't have any decency. Mom, it wasn't a den of iniquity after all.
Yes, Cicely proved her mother wrong and went on to win multiple awards, including an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress for the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. Another groundbreaking moment as the first African-American actress to win in that category.
What you got going in the back of your head?
We're going to have one of our girls drink from the white people's fountain down at the courthouse.
The white folks fountain.
Jane Pittman was just one of many roles that Cicely chose with discernment.
I only know I wasn't white, and you wouldn't let me be black.
Only taking on characters with passion and purpose.
The ghetto is not the enemy, Miss Denning. I suppose you mean we are. Indifference is.
Young black men, take your place. Now! Starting now! Starting now!
Who could forget her heart-wrenching performances in Roots? Or Sounder, a portrayal which earned her Oscar and Golden Globe nominations. Cicely completely immerses herself into every character she plays, which often means throwing vanity out the window, and in some cases, inadvertently shifting a cultural norm.
Every time I changed the hairdo, it had not to do with me. It had to do with authenticating the character that I was playing. The cornrow and Sounder. I knew during that period that women in the South cornrow their head. So I said that Rebecca would wear her hair in that manner. I was asked to do a show that dealt with the emerging African nations. And at that time, I was wearing my hair, as I am now, straightened, and I wasn't comfortable in the woman's skin with that style of hair because I knew they didn't wear their hair straightened in Africa. But the night before the show, which was being done live, I went to a barbershop in Harlem called the Shalimar, where Duke Ellington used to have his hair cut. And I walked in, I told him I wanted him to cut my hair very short and then shampoo it so that it would go back to its natural state. And then it was George Scott who asked my agent to send me in to meet with them for East Side, West Side. I said, well, what do I do about my hair? They said, your hair, leave it that way. And that is what created the natural hair craze, that show, and my wearing it that way on that show. Because I got letters from hairdressers all over the country telling me that I was affecting their business because their clients were having their hair cut off so they could wear it like the girl on television. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. How are you?
But perhaps her most coveted role, mentor. Her mission out of the limelight, to offer time, talent, and opportunity to students of the Cicely L. Tyson Community School of Performing and Fine Arts in New Jersey.
How have you been since I last visited you?
Not just an inspiration, Cicely Tyson is a living example of pride and perseverance, and proof that just
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help.
No,
This sentence is grammatically correct.
they don't pay us. Oh, I'm so sad. Yo, did you guys know all that though? I played the whole thing because I want y'all to know the whole thing. I want you to know the whole story, to see her in her glory, to see her, everything that she did, everything that she accomplished, doors that she done kicked open for us, and standing in her truest power. And so I just want to pay honor and homage to the great. And yo, we really are the elders. Like, that's why I love the elders, because I understand, like, that's going to be me. I'm going to have stories to tell. I'm going to have wisdom. I'm going to be like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, this isn't what you're trying to do with your life. Like, we are the elders. Our elders are transitioning and transcending, and we are becoming the elders. And it's weird that I have like nieces and nephews that are big, like I used to be big, and how like now I'm the auntie from my aunties, but my aunties are still dope though. There's something about an auntie, dog. There's something about an auntie. Yeah, Cicely was like an auntie. She was like the Uncle Phil. You feel me? Like, Uncle Phil really wasn't your dad, but whenever you watch Fresh Prince, he was like your dad. That was Cicely. She was auntie. She was like the great auntie that everybody loved. She wasn't really like Nana. She was great auntie. That's sad. That's sad. We lost a lot of greats in the last year. Like, this has definitely been a year of loss. It's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly and all of the family, to the Pinas, to the Bruces, to the Fernandez, and any other unknowns that I may not have mentioned. We've lost a lot this year, but we gained a lot differently. Like, though we've lost a lot, we've gained a lot, and it has not. Corona has not been easy. Your patience have been tested to the 3rd degree if you have children. Your patience have been tested if you like live with your parents. You are the children and you live with your parents, and just like honestly being quarantined, I hope you have learned as much about yourself as I have learned about myself, about about everything about your life. You've had so much time to literally sit down and analyze your entire life. And so, like, Corona has been difficult, but I think as far as like not postpartum, but depression, post disaster, what is it? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I really think that none of us, so we were so quick to figure out like how to do this thing that we have to do, work, even though the entire globe is going through something. We as Americans wanted to hurry up and figure out how to get back to normalcy, or how we like get back to work, we did not like sitting with ourselves at all. And so I don't think we really understand where and how and what has happened to society, and where and how and what we currently are rolling out into becoming. So I think for first and foremost, just like talking about loss, I think we have not accepted what we have lost. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I still can't believe it. type situation. And then what does that mean? We are going to, we are the elders. We're going to be having this conversation for a long time. Like, yo, I remember during the 2020 pandemic, we're going to be in rocking chairs talking about what happened and how it changed the world. Just like a lot of us can sit around and talk about 9/11. Like, a lot of these kids don't understand going through security and getting on a plane. Don't remember going up and being able to drop people off at the gate, watch the plane take off, and then get back in your car that you double parked in front of the airport. Like, a lot has changed in society. And even like pre 9/11, we were so quick to make sure that we were protected that we gave away all of our rights. Like, I still don't think a lot of us understand what we actually did after 9/11 happened. And we are so scared now, and we want protection, and we want safety, and we want to feel that fiat feeling of being secure, that we're willing to give up everything. Here's the code to my house. Just keep me protected. This is the number to my safe. Just keep me protected. And essentially, that's what we are doing and giving it all away. And so I just really want for us to be mindful. Can I tell you what I thought about? Listen, all right. So boom. So everybody's running for mayor, right? I was going to talk about this yesterday because Anicia Subby George just put her hat in the ring. So Boston is like, everybody's running for mayor. They're like, Shagun, you going to run? Listen, this is what needs to happen. So we need to take a hard look at what has been going on in the city of Boston, right? Hold on, because I want to go ahead and make sure that the page has this, because I don't think Tayla Andre is watching right now. Spark. What time is it? Oh shit. Let's pay a bill. Let's pay a bill, and when we come back, I'll do that. How about that? All right, so boom. Yo, shout out to all my New Yorkers.
You are enjoying the miracle of radio.
Radio, New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Paid family and medical leave is here. And if you're an employee in Massachusetts, you probably have questions. How does PFML work? When can I start using my benefits? How do I apply? Is PFML really for me? There is one place to find your answer. mass.gov/PFML. It's time to get to know paid family and medical leave. A message from the Massachusetts Department of Family and Medical Leave.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Tayla Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Tayla makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Tayla is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLAANDRE@thumbprintrealty.com. Hey, yo, so listen. We have everybody running for mayor, right? So with everyone running for mayor, what if we take a look at what have you done for me lately? Ooh, like I really want a what have you done for me lately card from every candidate. And this what have you done for me lately card is all of the recent, whatever it is that they passed, whatever it is that they voted for. I want all of them. What have you done for me lately? So I learned, shout out to Carlos Enriquez, who is also one of the personalities here. He was a former politician, did his job amazingly, had some personal incidents, and then could no longer longer represent us. And so what he does is talks to the hood how we could represent ourselves. And so shout out to Carlos Enriquez. And so I learned that typically what happens when you have like unions or you have like groups or like you have people, right? So you have groups of people that have ideas about how you about to govern us, right? And so we have ideas. We will fund you. We will throw some money into your pot and we will rally our people behind you. But these are what we're expecting. Like, this is what we stand for. And in order for us to support you, I need to know where you stand on certain things before we go ahead and rally our support behind you. And so these things do exist already. And so I would like to put together what have you done for me lately, and for them to fill out like the bills that the bill, like what have they passed within the city legislature, or what have they voted on, or what were they against, questions about the budget. I want to see all of this, and shout out to the organizations that are currently doing this. And so to synthesize that so that the community can actually understand what that means. And really, you know what? I think it was, I was in Birmingham, Alabama, and it was a church on the west side of Birmingham. And what they gave out was a card of two of the candidate. And so it was on one side of the candidacy who that person was and what it is that they stood for, what they voted against. But it was like really, really synthesized, like bullet points. And on the other side, and it was not like for, it wasn't against, it was extremely like nothing but factual. Name, date, what you voted for, that's it. And so I would love to actually see that. And now that I think about it, that was pretty progressive of a church to do that, to have the congregation and membership be knowledgeable on who the candidates were. But like it was super local, and I lived on the east side and that was west side, and I had no knowledge of none of that. So I was just like, oh, this is interesting. I looked at the candidates, but I couldn't vote for either one of them. So that was in the trash. For those, I don't know why I even explained that, but for that part, right? But everybody is running here in Boston. I want to see what have you done for me lately, and it'd be really funny because I have like these movies that kind of play in my head, like what if this thing happened? And if we were back to normal things and everybody was meeting in person. So maybe I'll just like ask a question and then play the song in a Zoom as far as what have you done for me lately? Because that's the only reason why, that's the only person I'm voting for. And so right now, that means I'm writing in Julia Mejia. If you take a look at every single candidate and what, like, all of the people that currently have their hats in the ring running for mayor, and you take a look at all of the people politically that are possibly, and so if you go to Wikipedia, right? So Wikipedia has Boston mayor election. And so 2021 Boston mayoral election. And so they have a list of candidates right now. Boston City Councilor for the 4th District. She's been in the 4th District since 2016. Former president of the City of Boston Council from 2018 to 2020. Andrea Campbell. Michelle Wu, a Boston City Councilor at large since 2014. Former president of the Boston City Council from 16 to 18. Anissa Sebi George, who is also a Boston City Councilor at large since 2016. Potentials: John Barrows, Nick Collins, Mike Flattery, Kim Janey. But from what I understand, Kim already put her name in the hat because she doesn't want to give up the seat in the first place. And so Althea Garrison, Marty Martinez, Matt O'Malley. Is it O'Malley or is it? I think is Matt O'Malley the redhead, right? I like the way Matt votes. Matt voted a lot of times. Like, Matt was during the Tito era of city council, and there were a lot of things that Matt came out and supported. I need to do a deeper dive on him. So Mike Rush is actually my voting state senator, and I am not a fan. I have never met Michael Rush. I've never seen him ever. Nowhere. And what he represents is like, it's a weird part of the district because he has like Hyde Park, Roslindale, like it's weird, like West Roxbury-ish. And so he's never in the hood ever, but he still wins and he's a super incumbent. I hope not for that one. John Santiago, who is a state representative, who declined, was Sonia Chang Diaz, Ricardo Arroyo, Lydia Edwards, Nakia, Edward, William Gross. But I thought William did have his hat in the ring, and everybody was 90% sure. He probably saw their social media post and was like, listen, I'm not going to embarrass myself. So Russell Holmes, Shagun, Julia Mejia declined. But yo, listen, let's vote Julia in. I want to know, would you vote Julia in? Would you, based on what have you done for me lately? Based on what have you done for me lately, would you vote in Julia Mejia for mayor based on the action she has proven to us in her short period as city councilor at large? Period. I'm excited. I'm writing Julia. That's the only person I feel like should do something. And so Michelle Wu has Elizabeth Warren as an endorsement. She has Dan Rivera as an endorsement. She has, I'm trying to name names that most of you would know, but these are all like city councilors in different towns and cities such as Quincy, Watertown, Brookline, Chelsea, Everett, Pittsfield, Lowell, Malden, Newton, Cambridge, like she also has the Alliance of Unions at the MBTA. That's a couple tens of, maybe 4,000 or 5,000. The OPEIU Local 43453. The Sunrise Movement of Boston. Who's the Sunrise Movement of Boston? Andrea Campbell has Andrea Cabral, Liz Malia, Diane Patrick, who is the former First Lady, Duval Patrick. I know he's Haitian. He ain't said it yet, but I know it. Individuals like John Borders, he is a community activist and a faith leader, as well as Bill. Bill ran for mayor, didn't he? Yes, he did in 2013. And so I'm writing in Julia Mejia because I don't like, or Andrea Campbell. I do like the way Michelle Wu answered the question about the mayor building housing because he wanted to and because he could. I like the fact that she was honest about that, but I will close my mouth now. Sunrise Movement is an American 501(c)(4) political action organization that advocates political action on climate change. When first incorporated in 2017, the group's goal was to elect proponents of renewable energy in the 2018 midterms. So I know we're not going through like a lot of news and we're just kind of talking a lot today because I'm talking through my thoughts. This is therapy. You guys are just here for the ride. So one of the things that one of the rabbit holes that I was going down was trying to figure out, what is that man's name on Fox? Hannity. You know what? Let me find it on here. This will be easier. So what I really want you guys to listen. Why don't I run? I felt like Soldier Boy for a second. Why don't I run? Hell nah. I don't want to be mayor. I don't want to be city councilor. I'm good. No, thank you. I'm okay. That's not my business. I don't want none of that. That's a headache. That's a headache. Is this it? I want to do more commentary today than anything. That's how I'm in my feelings. Where's the one breaking Trump news? This is it that I want to play for you.
Massachusetts homeowner.
Oh my gosh. I'm about to just pay for YouTube Red so I don't have no commercial.
Story is now unfolding. David was winning until the sword of big government, jumped in to help Goliath and save Goliath. As we speak, retail investors are and have been squaring off against Wall Street and winning. GameStop closed today at over $193 a share. That's down from, look at this, a whopping $450. Excuse me, just a short time ago, it was trading around $5 a share. And then two major trading platforms restricted customers' ability from buying more stock and selling stock. Many everyday investors now are vowing to hold the line and keep sending this message to these hedge funds on Wall Street and those they see as trying to rig the system. And coming up, we'll have a lot of reaction. We'll get analysis. Lou Dobbs, Dan Bongino tonight. But first, it's after 9 p.m. in our nation's capital, and that probably means that Joe Biden is likely fast asleep.
He's so ignorant. He's so ignorant. But hold on. Yeah, I want y'all to listen to what he's about to say, though.
After just 9 days in office. In other words, he has tripled the amount of executive orders signed by Trump, Obama, and Bush combined at this point in their presidencies. Now, instead of the unity that was promised, Joe is literally acting unilaterally to enact every aspect of his radical socialist agenda, and he's doing it all with the stroke of a pen, and its consequences are severe. It's so bad, even the New York Times editorial board ever so gently and ever so politely encouraged Biden to ease up on the executive orders and at least try to acknowledge there are three branches of government. You're the executive branch, then we have this other branch, the legislative branch.
And y'all ain't been doing a damn thing.
Criticism of Biden, it caused many on the radical left, they became unglued, completely unhinged. How dare the New York Times do that? You get scores of these blue checkmark liberals on Twitter lashing out at the New York Times. One frequent MSDNC guest calling them cowardly. Another left-wing activist calling them moronic. By the way, when Democrats are busy fighting each other, just let the fight go on. How dare the Times write anything other than glowing?
So this part really isn't important. Real quick. So I specifically watch the other side. I know what people who think like me say. I know how they feel. I know how they act. I want to watch the other side. Y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all ain't paying attention.
Titled The Failing Trump Presidency. Wow, that was quick. And sadly, this is about so much more than media bias, because with the stroke of a pen, that's it, a pen, Biden's litany of executive orders are causing real, serious, life-changing problems for tens of thousands of hardworking men and women, our fellow Americans, right here and right now. They are suffering. Thousands already receiving their pink slips after Joe canceled the Keystone XL pipeline, stopped border wall construction. Up to 58,000 more could soon be unemployed because of this new ban on drilling on federal lands. A lot more to follow. These are high-paying, yes, blue-collar, high-skilled jobs gone, not easily, if at all, replaceable, all with the stroke of the frail, weak Joe Biden's hand, a pen in his hand. Socialist Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she thinks this is great. What a great day.
Okay, so this was sent to me, right? And upon this being sent to me, I'd like to share my sentiments. So 58,000 is a lot of jobs to be lost because of the Keystone, which is literally destroying. And so he goes on to talk about how the superpowers of the world who have oil, the Saudi Arabias, the Iraqs, everybody who has oil that we don't have great relationship with is all of a sudden going to become rich and do this thing because they have access to oil and the whole world wants oil. So the reason why this is important to me is because we have one of the strongest things in the universe, the sun, and we are not utilizing the sun at all. Then he goes on to talk about how airplanes are causing all of these emissions and how mostly Democrats are the ones that have planes that they're taking, like like rich ass Republicans don't have their own personal planes. I digress. And so I'm thinking, first and foremost, and this is outside of the box, like, why can't this be a real thing? So first and foremost, why all of those 58,000 jobs for the Keystone Pipeline to dig underground, do we not transfer those jobs to figure it out how to harness all of the wind power that's off the coast of all of California, all of our borders? We could harness the air off of our borders. And from what I understand, one of those freaking things in the middle of the ocean can give us more energy than we know what to do with. If we sit here and utilize the sun, if we utilize what we really have, going back to the conversation that I heard earlier this week about Tesla, and had life been different for Tesla professionally, we would be in a different space as human beings. Yo, like, I feel like a mad scientist. Like, we really don't get it. We don't get it. All of the energy that we need does not need to be dug up. It doesn't need to be fracked up. It doesn't need to be pollute our oceans. It doesn't need to be any of that. We can utilize the sun, the wind, the water. Why do we have this attachment? And I know why. If it ain't about the money, that's the only reason why, because oil makes us so much money. It's liquid gold. But if we just change the way that we think about things, we literally have a radiant gold that we are polluting and keeping away from us because the sun is causing the ozone to, I have questions. I have questions. And I'm annoyed because I hate the way that we do things. And it's almost Freaky Friday. It's almost Freaky Friday. I really am annoyed though. But why are we so dumb? Like, why are we as humans just so against what we want? You could have everything you absolutely want wrapped up in a human being and do not even want them. You can have the food that you ordered and not even want it. I want something like I'm so annoyed with us as humans. Let me get to some of these questions. Good rising. How are you? I'm up researching business ideas and procedures. The first thing I see in my notifications about squirting and peeing. I'm like, good rising. How are you? Which one is endorsed by Black Lives Matter? What do you mean? Like, as far as the candidates are concerned, that's the one that I'm not voting for. And listen, I want to be clear. Black Lives Matter philosophy, but to have been in existence as long as they have, and to have been like an established 501c and have all of these people that congregate, I would have wanted like a list of demands or like a national, this is what we're lobbying for. That's the thing. Like, I'd like to see something worth lobbying. I want to see something worth like, this is what we want. We're not just here, like there's different facets of the fight. And I would have liked to see them be multi-faceted. I guess that's essentially what I'm trying to say. Instead of just showing up to rallies, instead of like being labeled the troublemaker, that's, shout out to my mentor. That's one aspect of it, but there's so many different aspects of it, and you can't just think you can do this one thing and that's going to work. Shout out to Dr. Tia Martin. I would not be as smart as I am if it wasn't for an amazing mentor by my side. Because I've read, like, being able to feel something is one thing, but being able to articulate it is completely different. And 90% of the times I do not properly articulate myself. So I just like feel my feelings with my emotions. And some of y'all understand Tayla. So it's Sleight of Mind Trick. They are directing the conversation and attentions by always including the fight to own part of another country's resources. Yeah, always. The sun does not hurt the ozone planes, and oil does. Education, Tayla, I'll keep saying it. When will you realize that you have been educated to be fooled? You don't, like, wait for it. I am well aware that all of us have been bamboozled. I am well aware of it. To speak directly to the bamboozlement for years has had me looking absolutely insane. But it's very funny how things unfold, and the things that I once discussed are now like fact. When once upon a time it was like Tayla's crazy. There's something wrong with her. And now you're like, oops. There goes another. So with that being said, we have 6 minutes until Freaky Friday, and I am waiting for your responses because I want somebody to snitch on themselves. That's what I miss. I miss people being anonymous. I miss those anonymous inbox messages. Those are the ones I miss reading because y'all would say everything. And I won't snitch on you. I'll just read it. And I won't judge you because y'all already know who I am. I'm the least to be judged, or the least to judge. Because I do have some inbox messages about... I'm excited. Please inbox me, TaylaAndre on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on OnlyFans. Just hit me on the inbox and let me know about your squirting experience. Have you as a female experienced squirting? Have you as a man experienced it? And what were your thoughts? What about the first time? What happened the first time you had a squirting experience? What was that like for you? I remember the first time. Oh gosh. Okay, we have 5 more minutes. I am super excited. Tayla ain't crazy. You been that person too? Like everybody think you absolutely insane. And so that's what I wanted to read to you. Today was like a chill day. I didn't want to read nothing. Today was out of the ordinary, but I wanted y'all to hear this thing Kamal had on his page. You guys remember my cousin Kamal? He was talking about flipping houses and doing your own thing and being in a situation at one point in time and turning your life around and making the decision to turn your life around. So he posted this thing yesterday about GameStop, and it was something that he found that he posted, and I found it. Yes. Eat the effing rich. This is about GameStop and their stock. Taken from another page. Worth reading. I was laughing so hard. If you guys haven't been following the GameStop stock-ish show, you really need to look into it. This is effing hilarious. Allow me to catch you up. So this hedge fund called Melvin Capital wrote out some douchey article about how smart investment moves would be to short sell GameStop stock. To put it simply, short selling is essentially gambling that the stock's price will drop. If it does, you make money. If it doesn't, you end up owing money for however much it goes up. Well, this little article that Melvin wrote pissed off a lot of dark, dank corner of the internet called Wall Street Bets, WSB, is a hive of Ritalin Adderall lunatics who treat the stock market like an effing casino. These dudes will regularly gamble their life savings on a single trade. It's a glorious thing to watch. The SWB, dyslexia is so real. The WSB crew has a weird fascination with certain stocks. They call them meme stocks. Tesla is one of the meme stocks. AMD is another. And GameStop arguably is the most weirdest beloved meme stock for reasons that make sense only to the degenerates of WSB. Melvin trying to sell short their meme was a declaration of war. Yes, this is dumb. You probably don't understand what the hell I'm reading because I'm reading it weird, but it gets hilarious. SWB decided to do a short squeeze. This is when you see people trying to short a stock. So you buy up that stock and you get a bunch of other people to buy up the stock. With each purchase, the price actually does go up. Since Melvin was trying to short stock at a price of $20 per share, the WSB wanted to get it as high above that price as humanly possible. They got it up to $200 from the less than 5. This means Melvin has to cover $180 per share that they bought. This came out to billions of dollars. Melvin Capital overnight was suddenly facing bankruptcy. Think about that. A bunch of self-identified degenerates on the internet were able to tank a effing hedge fund company. That's hilarious. Well, the rich and powerful don't like to see us as one of their own. So Point72, another hedge fund, teamed up with a few other hedge funds, and they injected around $3 billion into the Melvin Capital to keep them from spiraling out of control. Essentially, this meant for the billionaire hedge fund crew that were banding together to fight back against Wall Street bets. And Wall Street bets said, okay, no problem. Today, GameStop, and this was yesterday GameStop shares were $320 per share. Melvin Capital lost all $3 billion that they were given. It's gone. They're still messed up. Point72 gave a little over $1 billion of that injection, which means that fund has now dropped from $17 billion to $16 billion. That means in less than 24 hours, Wall Street bets managed to all but ensure one hedge fund will die and drop the value of another by 6 so far. Remember, the WSB are just a bunch of idiots on the internet. They are not hedge fund guys. They're not millionaires. They're not billionaires. This is literally being done by morons with a phone app coordinating to ruin billionaires. What we're watching here is GameStop stock is a bunch of rich people who are getting wrecked for purely entertainment. And this kind of middle class and poor people that they regularly lobby against are getting rich and getting paid very quickly. Because whoever, and he goes on to talk about how like Eat the Rich via a phone app is whoever created the like life in the circle of life and like this aspect of this very moment of life is hilarious. And he said the icing on the cake is that the app WSB crew are using to pull this off is a stock trading app called Robinhood, which ironically is like stealing from the rich in order to give to the poor. And Robinhood stopped the damn stock. You can't buy stock off there. If you own stock already that you purchased prior to them stopping you from buying the stock, you can sell. They said, oh, we opened it back up. You guys can do what you want. You can buy as much as you want. And right now they limited the shares to 5. You can only buy 5 shares. And so White House press secretary Jen Psaki ducks questions about whether or not Biden administration will protect the average American investor, because the average American investor was the ones affected by not being able to purchase this. And and if idiots can break the Wall Street, which is like really harmful for me as a stockholder though. But as the people, I am excited as the people, but I'm like, hey, let me get my money out real quick. We are all the way at the top of the aisle. The aisle. Wow. We're not at the aisle. We at the top of the hour. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you absolutely are having an amazing day today. We are going to take a very quick break and pay these bills. And when we come back, we are going to discuss Freaky Friday and whether or not your experience about, squirting or peeing. I want to know, what do men think it is when y'all get squirted on? What y'all think it is when you get squirted on, huh? We want to know. Tell us a little bit. Or you could just send me something in the inbox, TaylaAnzre, and that's everything on social media. Anywhere you go, just inbox me. I'll read it anonymously.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
People Station. What is that? Spark FM.
Paid family and medical leave is here. And if you're an employee in Massachusetts, you probably have questions. How does PFML work? When can I start using my benefits? How do I apply? Is PFML really for me? There is one place to find your answer. mass.gov/PFML. It's time to get to know paid family and medical leave. A message from the Massachusetts Department of Family and Medical Leave.
Things may seem a little bit different now, but your health remains a priority. With the Massachusetts Health Connector, you can stay happy and healthy. Whether you're employed or have recently lost your job, you have options to stay insured. Visit mahealthconnector.org to compare health insurance plans and choose the one that's right for you and your family. Open enrollment ends on January 23rd. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL. That's 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Tayla Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Tayla makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Tayla is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLA@thumbprintrealty.com.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Hey, good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre. Waking up with Tayla Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day. We link up at about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. What is squirting? And so y'all all seen, if you ain't experienced for yourself, I know you've seen the damn videos. It's a whole fetish. It's a whole topic when you go to any porn site. Squirting. It's crazy. I've seen like some women who can do it to themselves and some women who have it done. It's just like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I am interesting. Is it pee? Long story short, female ejaculations. Is it pee? What is squirting? What do you think squirting is? What are some of the articles that talk about squirting? What are some of the things you heard about squirting? What have you? I'm just going to continue to say squirting 1,000,001 times because it's so inappropriate. I felt I was in my feelings when she was just like, if you go to show business, it's going to be in the peril. I was just like, shit, I must be in hell if that's the case. What is it? What do you think it is? What have you experienced in your past? I want to know, like, some females. Send me anonymous, TAYLAANDRE. You don't have to tell the world, nobody else. I'll tell it for you. And it won't even say your name. The first time, oh gosh. I remember the first time. Are you squirting or peeing during the orgasm? How does it happen? What does it look like? Has it ever happened to you? Has it ever happened to you while you were smelling the flowers? Has it ever happened to your face? So despite what you may have heard, you don't need a penis to ejaculate. You just need a urethra. Your urethra is a tube that allows urine to pass through the body. Ejaculation occurs when fluid, not necessarily urine, is expelled from your urethra opening during sexual arousals or orgasms. This is different from the cervical fluid that lubricates your vagina when you're turned on or otherwise wet. Is it common? Surprisingly so, although the exact number is difficult to nail down. Some studies and surveys have helped researchers get a sense of just how diverse female ejaculation can be. In older volunteer samples of 233 participants, about 126 people, 54%, said that they experienced ejaculation at least once. Listen, let me tell you, the first time was like a junkie because I was like, what was that? And how do I make it do it again? Like, I want that. So I want to say like it happened and then it didn't happen for a really long time. And then it happened again and I was like, hold on. But what was that? I want to know what it was. And this is like I'm not going to say this is pre-internet because the internet was definitely open, but I didn't even know what it was to even identify it, to even like Google it. It was one of those things. It's like an ant seeing an airplane, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I didn't know what it was. And so, about 33 of the people, 14% said that they experienced ejaculation with almost all of their orgasms. And that would be beautiful. That actually would be really beautiful to feel that intensity, like always or every time. Yes. Yeah. So most recent cross-sectional studies on female ejaculation followed women between the ages of 18 and 39. But I want them to have conversations with older women. So you guys know I used to sell sex toys, right? And so I used to have there was always every single last sex toy party I ever had, there was always one elder in the room. And I love it because it's auntie. That's what it was. It was always auntie in the building. And so that one older woman, like she was either she was super experienced and she was teaching the class, or she has never had an orgasm in her life. And it was so crazy that it was like, it really was Blanche Devereaux or, what's my baby name? You know who I'm talking about, her. And so it was really either one or the other. And so it was interesting having conversations with women who are like 60 something years old in their late 50s. And like, I don't think I've ever had an orgasm. And so there was this one particular woman and she was with her husband. Her husband ended up passing away. And then, she did not want to remarry. And she had a lot of love for her husband and she was done up, but she still wanted to be pleased. And so she was like, Tayla, I don't think I ever had an orgasm. So we talked it out a little bit and I walked her through it and I gave her what would have been best for her based on the conversation that we had. And so she used the toy, like, I guess she bought it, she had it. Let me tell you, I got a call in the middle of the night at 10 p.m., but in the middle of the night, and she was like, Tayla, I'm so sorry to call you so late, but I just needed to tell you that I never had an orgasm before, but I finally did. She called like it was a 2 a.m. call. 'Cause, as elders, you don't call nobody after 8. And depending on who your grandmother is, you don't call nobody after 7. So that was really interesting. So I would love to hear like female ejaculations from I just have an affinity for elders, clearly. So I'm gonna just shut up. Is ejaculation the same thing as squirting? Although many people use the terms interchangeably, some research suggests that ejaculating and squirting are two very things. Squirting is gushing fluid seen in adult films, appears to be more common than an ejaculation. The fluid that released during squirting is essentially watered down urine, sometimes with a bit of ejaculation in it. It comes from the bladder and exists via the urethra, the same as when you pee, but only a lot sexier. So essentially, y'all being pissed on. But the thing that's weird for me is you know what? In the words of my cousin Joanna, how about that? I will say that. In the words of my cousin Joanna, I would have to say that. Where are you, Joanna? So I can read your comments. Joanna said, I don't care what it is. I'm not sure. She said, I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure I care. Because when he comes up from all that spiritual dripping down his beard, it tastes like heaven. She didn't say that, but it tastes like heaven. So I've never engaged in like, I want to pee on you. Drip, drip, drip. I've never engaged in that business, but it doesn't smell like pee. Like the bed doesn't smell like pee. So I don't know how to answer that question. I know a lot of people think it is, and some people think it's not. I don't know how to answer that question, though, because the bed smells fine. Where does the fluid come from? Ejaculations come from the Skene glands, the Skene glands, or the female prostate. I didn't even know we had prostates. They're located on the front wall of the vagina surrounding the urethra. They each contain an opening that releases ejaculate. Although the glands were described, hold on, I want to see this. I want to see the female urethra. I'll show you guys. And for those that are listening on radio, you can go ahead and watch on YouTube later. It's all of them are recorded every day, so you can just go to YouTube and watch it. If you are gaining any form of energy from this, sexual or non-sexual, or if you ever get any information from Tayla Andre that makes you go please share the energy, subscribe, share with your friends so they can get a little piece of me too. And so a female prostate, this looks weird, but this is the most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life. Female prostate. Can you guys see this? No, I have to make it big, don't I? I have no idea what this is. Female prostate. Here we go. So this is the clit. That's a really small clit, though. Why are clits so little? Okay. That's the labia or the lip. That's a little lip, I guess. Her urethra, where she actually pees, the Skene gland, the vaginal, and then the Bartholian gland. What is this? I've never even seen this. Is this real? Because when you see any little sexual thing, it always says that's her clit is she must be an internal. And I just had an epiphany on Freaky Friday. So I am thinking the smaller your clit is, the more internal orgasms you have. Where if you have bigger clits, that's your stimuli. That was really common sense that I made difficult. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And you guys weren't even looking at the right one. Hold on. It's my fault. Female ejaculation, female prostate. Fact or fiction? That's not the one. What is this one called? Pelvic something something. Are squirting and peeing during orgasms the same thing? Some doctors say yes and some doctors say no. So if some doctors say yes and some doctors say no, what is the real answer? What is the actual answer? What is the truth? I'm still waiting for y'all to give your opinions. I don't have nothing in my inbox. I'm done snitching on me. I done snitched enough. Y'all know enough. Everybody know everything. Y'all can see that? You can see the little clit? The little lips? Remember the show that we had about having big lips and how the women in Africa, what was the big lip thing called? What country was it? Was it I think it was Libya. Libya. Sexual practice. I forgot the name of it. When you have big lips and they rub labia stretching. Yes. Cultural practices. Stretching your labia. Not Libya, labia. Labia stretching, also referred to a labia elongation or labia pulling. You guys remember that show? And they were talking about historic context: Rwanda, Uganda, Zambia, South Pacific. The practice of labia stretching itself does not cause sexually transmitted disease. What? Such infections generally occur later in life through sexual activities. And it has been known. Oh, that was one of what's it called? The myths. One of the myths about labia stretching was that it caused sexually transmitted diseases. I want her to labia stretch a little bit, but that's the what's the name hole I was going down the rabbit hole. Bartholin's gland, Bartholin's gland. Oh yeah, it is a real thing. I have never, when you see diagrams, the diagram never shows any of that. And typically when it is discussed, shout out to Harvard Medical School. I'm about to pull this up so y'all can see it. Y'all like going down these rabbit holes? I'm sorry. I like learning. No, thank you. Look at this. So usually when we see videos or like examples, it just has like the labia, the clit, the urethra, the vaginal opening. But this one has the Bartholin's gland. And so this gland mixed with the urethra gland, and both of them, this is the duct hair, the vaginal opening, urethra gland. So where does the fluid come out of? Because the article said that fluid can come out of these glands and the urethra. We're going to get to the bottom of squirting today, my love. That is the goal. That is the purpose of the day, is to fall down all the rabbit holes that clarify whether or not that clear liquid is really pee. And so hold on, let me read some of these comments. Oh, you saw last night about GameStop. I think it's pee, and I'll be pissed if it happened. Yo, what would you do? What would you really do though? If if the penis was so good and that she had an orgasm, you would be pissed that you caused this amount of pleasure? Would you though? But would you really though be that mad? Does that mean men that enjoy females squirting on them also subconsciously enjoy being peed on? Just food for thought. Get both reports. Keystone XL Union voted for Biden. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Ouch. But you know what? And as far as the Keystone Union and all of the, 58,000 people that would now be out of a job, just redirect that. Why we can't use those 58,000 people to travel? Because when they're on pipeline type situations, they're away from their family. They have, work housing or corporate housing for them to be there to work, because they're not flying back and forth going home. And so even oil rigs type situation, when dudes are out on an oil rig or out on the that thing, they're gone for months at a time. So why not have them traveling around the United States, putting up solar things? I know y'all seeing all these 5G towers go up in the middle of the night. I can't tell you how much. So we went to Alabama on 3 separate times this year, and we drove down 2 of those times. And during the time, you have to drive down, then you have to drive back, and then you drive down, and then you drive back. I've been real familiar with these streets as far as this country is concerned, on my way down and on my way back up. And I'm like, yo, that wasn't there last time. We stopped at this gas station. That 5G tower was not there last time we were here. I'm noticed them around Boston. When I go to my mom's house, I notice them. There's towers that are going up. There's towers, and that's why a lot of us have 5G on our networks now, and you can access the 5G network. Your internet is super fast. Just those are going up. Why? We have the technology, we have the research, we have the R&D, research and development. All of that has been promoted out, and we have the technology that we need to transform this window and that window to have a clear film on it, so you can be able to still look outside, but the sun that's coming through also generates and holds holds power. So for me, those 58,000 could still have jobs if we decided to be as radical as we say that we want to be when it comes to energy, being energy efficient. All we have to do is make the decision to change and then take the baby steps it takes to change. So will all 58,000 of them get a job tomorrow? Absolutely not. But had we, what Michelle said yesterday, if you were planning for the first quarter of 2021, you were planning for it back in October. So had we had the wherewithal to be forward thinking and forever been forward thinking, forever. They have an entire community in Dubai. The entire city is ran off electricity. Everything from the car you drive in to the little taxi that take you somewhere to how the house is built to the street lights to the lights on the ground, like everything is electric. Boogie woogie woogie. I got a problem. Don't judge me. But I digress. We're talking about Freaky Friday. Where'd I get the sweater? The website is currently down right now, and as soon as that thing come back on popping, it's going to be amazing. But I love this sweater. And I typically wear the t-shirts as well, and the red one is the same. So you'll see more of it. Squirting seems to be a side effect of the porn industry and the go suck my D feminists. They seem to be desperate to have as many male traits as they possibly can, and that is an absolute falsity in my opinion. So that is your truth. That is your fact. I respect your truth. But being somebody who does not have a penis, that is not a SMD feminist, I would have to say, in my experience, it is just something that is really, really, really dope. It's really dope to experience. And the first time you experience something like it literally blows you. You are, wow. So maybe you are not okay with females having an expression that you are uncomfortable with. I really don't know. I'm BSing, Robert. Reginald. I have no idea. But it's absolutely amazing. I thoroughly enjoy it. And the same, how I feel like when a female squirts or a female has a female orgasm, I feel like that is the equivalent to how men have orgasms. And then like we bust nuts and we come, and that's different. Like that's really different. And we've had this conversation before. Like when a female just comes, like you could come off of being touched. Like that could just be some foreplay thing. You could come off of some fingers. You feel me? And then you can come off some head, and then you can come out like the way, there's so many different ways that you can come. There's different, like there's that whole drip. Sometimes it's like a drip situation. Sometimes it's like a whoosh situation. And sometimes it's like a sprinkle situation. Like you can have a big one, or you can have a huge one, or you can have multiple. Like it just, I feel like a female ejaculation is just that. The equivalent to a male ejaculation when y'all are like, ugh. That whole situation that take you out your element, that's what we feel too, but in the form of skeet. And then the whole nutting and coming situation is different. Like you can have a really strong nut, but it won't be anything compared to a female orgasm. You feel me? Like, is anybody understanding what I'm saying? Am I talking to myself? How about spraying? It's even more drastic than squirting. It's really weird. I like, what the hell did this chick just do? I've never experienced spraying. That is not, so maybe it's the size of the, what's the name? Like the size of whatever gland it comes out of, whether it's the howling gland? What's that thing called? But this is what we're going to do, because we're no longer going to butcher these things. We're going to copy paste, and we're going to ask about the pronunciation of such things. Pronunciation. So this one is the
skein.
Skein. So it's the skein gland and the where's the Bartholomew? How you say this damn word? Female prostate is the Bartholin's gland. How the hell do you pronounce that in real life? B-A-R-T Holland's gland.
Bartholin.
What?
Bartholin.
Bartholin?
Bartholin.
I don't like that version. I want another version that actually has a human saying it and not a robot. Please.
Scientists discovered some.
No, thank you. Yo, can we get some of these people to really like
Bartholin's glands. Bartholin's glands.
Okay, I give up. Bartholin's glands. That's it. That's all we're gonna leave it like that. Regardless of where it comes from. Now, there's a difference. Skeeting is different from squirting, which is different than spraying. Well, I know like skeets. Okay, fine. I did say skeet. Skeeting is different from squirting, which is different from spraying. Break this down for me, oh God. I God divine. Can you please break down for me what is the difference between skeeting and the difference from squirting and the difference from spraying? And you're saying that it has nothing to do with the size of the actual whole of whether it's the Bartholin's gland or the urethra or wherever it comes from. It has nothing to do with the size of it, but each individual one is different. So skeeting is different from squirting, which is different from spraying, which is different from coming, which is different from nutting, which is so how many definitions do we have right now? Where are we at? Collectively, how many definitions do we have? All right, so I'm going to read some of these Facebook comments. Y'all didn't inbox me? Don't nobody want to take a shot at this? Don said, I always thought it was pee. Carl Henderson said flirting and squirting. Khadijah said squirting is most definitely not piss. The fluid that comes out during female ejaculation is similar to sweat. Aviv said squirting is not pissing. That's all. Sonia said, not a squirter. V said, I'm here for all this Freaky Friday. Hey, V from Tennessee. How you doing, my friend? I miss you. Shauna said, it's mostly urine. Shauna, what's going up? Shauna D from Atlanta. Not Atlanta, but Atlanta. 2015, a small study concluded that squirting is essentially the involuntary emission of urine during sexual activity. In this study, 7 women peed before sex and had their bladders scanned before and after squirting. I know, but if I pee before sex, there's nothing to pee out. Not in that quantity. It's definitely fluid. Shout out to my cousin Tom. He said it's diesel exhaust fluid. He said it's almost like urine. Nina, shout out to Joanna. She said, I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure I care either, because when he comes up from that spiritual dripping all down his beard, it's like a slice of heaven for me. Boo said some women definitely squirt, and no, it's not urine. Chanel Remy, what's going on, Ma? She said, I do, but I do not think it's urine. Oh, Remy, you're a squirter. Remy's a squirter. Daddy, I hope you ain't watching this. Joey said, whoa. Gwen said, yo, we be having real conversations, though. Like, for real. These are real life. What Jay-Z said? Have an affair. Act like an adult for once. Like, we can at least have a conversation like an adult, right? Nah? Yeah? Okay. On the squirting thing, I remember the first time I did and thought I broke something. I read somewhere that it isn't actually pee, but it's like a female version of cum. I don't recall where I read that, but it kind of makes sense for me. It used to be sort of embarrassing, but a whole different anticipation now. I've even prepared laying down a towel just in case. Now, if I don't squirt, I can never tell when it's going to happen, but he's looking at me all sad, like he underperformed, which may not be the case, but I do wish I better understood the mechanics of it. Thanks for putting that out there. And I am with you, Anonymous. You see how I've read that in her or his name was not said. And so listen, I want to understand the mechanics of it too. And so when I posted it on Facebook, I was like, yo, where are all the medical professionals at? Because I want to better understand how to make it happen regularly and as frequently as I have sex. And so I know, like, I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing. That's what I've learned. I know absolutely nothing, but I want to know and I want to figure it out so I can make it happen whenever I want to make it happen, because at this point I'm unable to do so. So if you guys know a medical professional, can you please share this with them? Because I want to understand. Somebody help me understand, how exactly do you make yourself squirt? And so I've seen videos and pornos of women who are like just playing with themselves and can make themselves squirt. I'm not that level of mastery, but I want to understand the anatomy of it so I can have more control over it. Please and thank you. And so we're going to read some more comments after we pay these bills, because I have to pay bills. And then when we come back, I want to know some more experiences. You guys hit me up in the inbox and tell me what you learned, what happened the first time you did it, the first time she did it, the first time they did it. What happened the first time you ever experienced squirting in your life? And maybe like, how old were you? Because I think I was the first time I was 22. Yes. The first time I was 22. And then it didn't happen for a really long time. And then it happened again. And I had it was, Lord have mercy. I don't understand it. I do like it and I love it. And I want to understand it so I can, perform on cue.
The People Station. What is that? Spark FM.
Paid family and medical leave is here. And if you're an employee in Massachusetts, you probably have questions. How does PFML work? When can I start using my benefits? How do I apply? Is PFML really for me? There is one place to find your answer. mass.gov/PFML. It's time to get to know paid family and medical leave. A message from the Massachusetts Department of Family and Medical Leave.
Come, let me go down the road with a drink in we hand on the avenue. Everybody, let me go now.
The Avenue, every Saturday 1 to 4 p.m. with Gary Banton and Big Trini on Spark FM Online.
Go down, let me jump and go down the road. Go down the road, let me go down the road with a drink in my hand on the avenue.
The Avenue.
Are you tired of renting and need more of your own space? Are you getting stressful letters or calls from the bank? Does your home require expensive repairs and you just don't have the funds to fix them? Regardless of whether you want to buy or sell, Tayla Andre of Thumbprint Realty is here to help. From saving your home from foreclosure to walking you through the process of becoming a first-time homeowner, Tayla makes real estate easy. With your best interests at heart, knowledge of the market, and a passion for people, Tayla is dedicated and motivated to serve you.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre, and I am determined and dedicated in assisting you in all of your real estate needs. Give me a call at 617-459-0041. Again, that number is 617-459-0041. Or you can email me at TAYLA@thumbprintrealty.com.
The People Station. What is that? Spark FM.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I am Tayla Andre. Waking up with Tayla Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. Spark FM Online. Make sure you check us out. Everything Tayla Andre, TAYLAANDRE.com. And I have questions. I have a lot of questions. And so, how does one squirt? How does one make themselves squirt? How does one make someone else squirt? What? Please don't piss in my eye. How does one go about making someone else squirt? Yo, for the men who can get a woman to squirt on cue, and you know that you can like handle these situations, can you please tell us what you do and what it is? Like from your experience, what do you do and how do you make a female squirt? What are you doing? How do you do it? For the females that know their bodies clearly better than I know my own, I am interested in how do you make yourself? And so I've seen somebody said earlier, like squirting is the side effect of the porn industry. And JFK had Men in Black technology. Oh, I believe that. The dudes. No, hold on. There was mad comments that came in that I missed. I missed mad comments. Okay, so we're talking about, this was it. Squirting seems to be a side effect of the porn industry and the go S my D feminists. They seem to be desperate to have as many male traits as they possibly can. And I'm like, I don't believe that to be true. That's not what I believe to be true about squirting. And I got said, how about spraying is more drastic than squirting, and that skeeting was different from squirting, which is different from spraying. And then Reginald said that's like a dude busting a nut and then pulling out and peeing on her. That is not the same thing. Like, I swear you were steadfast on saying all the wrong things today. That is not what happens, because him pulling out and deciding to pee on her is a decision. When you squirt, you have no control over it at all. It's not something you can hold in. It's not something you can hold back. It's not something like, you know, when you can like control your nut and when you like can control somebody else's nut by like just stopping premeditatively. Like, it's none of that. You have absolutely no control. It just happens. And so you busting a nut and then deciding to pull out and pee on somebody is completely different than you not having any control over your body and things just happening. So let's rewind just a little bit, right? Let's take it back just a little bit. I'm not, I am not an expert. Exactly. Sex, the only topic Tayla won't preface by saying I'm not an expert. That was a good one, VOG. That was a good one. Okay. Ha 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 ha. But I definitely won't preface that at all. There's a difference. Skeeting is different from squirting, is different from spraying, and I'm still waiting on that answer. Some people are happy with just black faces, like Lori Lightfoot, Chicago mayor. Oh, okay. That's Lori, the one who like they messed her up in a meme when she was like really like, how's it going versus how it started. How it started was like really pretty. She was dope in her little suit, and then she looked like a jail, a public pretender. She looked like a public pretender with the like extra baggy pants, the extra baggy pants and the long shirt. That was horrible. Yeah, the internet is something else. Okay, Tayla, enough with the pics. Not everybody wants to see how the food is being treated. Just make sure it's cooking and tastes good. Listen, you have to look at the pictures of the pum pum to get a better understanding of it. And I came to an epiphany today. The truth is coming to light. Instant change beats out money to be made from processing. That's right. That's true. We are well. We are well. How are you? And so, as far as whether you squirt or not, we've known for a long time that some women can produce notable amounts of liquid from their genitals, in some cases supposedly shot out with water blaster force during sexual excitement or orgasm. So how you say the boy's name? I can say it. Hippocrates and the Kama Sutra both reference female semen. The former thought it could help create children. The latter contained a detailed description of when it should be expected and why. Hold on, the Kama Sutras did that? Wait, pause. I have a Kama Sutra book. Did I let somebody borrow that? The History of Female Ejaculation. This was published in 2010. Introduction. The existence of female ejaculation in the female prostate is controversial. However, most scientists are not aware that historians of medicine and psychology described the phenomenon of female ejaculation approximately 2,000 years ago. Aim to review historical literature in which female ejaculation is described. Methods, a comprehensive systematic literature review. Main outcome measure the emission of fluid of the acme of orgasm and or sexual pleasure in the females was considered as a description of female ejaculation, and therefore all documents referring to this phenomena are included. Results: physicians anatomists and psychologists in both Eastern and Western cultures have described intellectual concepts of female ejaculation during orgasm. In ancient Asia, female ejaculation was very well known and mentioned in several Chinese Taoist texts. Starting in the 4th century, the ancient Chinese concept of female ejaculation as independent of reproduction was supported by ancient Indian writings. First mentioned in the 7th century poem, female ejaculation and the Gabanoff spot, aka the G spot, Grafenberg spot, Grafenberg, are described in detail in most works of the Kama Sutra. In ancient Western writings, the emission of female fluid is mentioned even earlier, depicting about 300 BC by Aristotle, in the 2nd century by Galen. In the 16th century, provided the first scientific description of female ejaculation and was the first to refer to the pituitary gland. Hold on, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, so we are going to try again. I want to search this. This one say high quality voices.
Periurethral.
The periurethral gland, as the female prostate. This concept was held by other scientists during the following centuries through the 1952, when Ernest Grafenberg reported on the role of the urethra in a female orgasm. Current research provides insight into the anatomy of the female prostate and describes female ejaculations as one of its functions. Conclusions: credible evidence exists among different cultures that female prostate and female ejaculation have been discovered, described, and then forgotten over the last 2,000 years. I am happy. And I got this off of systematicscholar.org. And some of the references, there are 48 references. Some of the references are the Grafenberg zone, which is the G spot, female ejaculation, a case study, the female prostate revisited, concentration of fructose in female ejaculation. And, is that why it tastes so sweet? Because fructose is like sugar. Is that why it tastes so good? The clitoral complex, female ejaculation factor, fiction, female urethra syndrome, a female prosthesis, an investigation into the origins of the copious vaginal discharge during intercourse. Who wrote this book? Enough to wet the bed. That is not urine. Hold on. This looks like a book that I would definitely want to read. Measurements of thickness of the urovaginal space in women with or without vaginal orgasm. That looks like an interesting ass book too. On the fabric of human psychology. So this one is the measure of thickness of the urethra vaginal space in women with or without vaginal orgasm. The psychology and anatomy of female sexual functions are poorly understood. 20 healthy, neurologically intact volunteers were recruited from a population of women who were part of a previously published study. All women underwent a complete urodynamic evaluation with those with clinical and urodynamic urinary incontinence, idiopathic distrustor, overactivity, or nutrition disorder. So basically, as well as postmenopausal women. So they got a whole bunch of them. So incontinence is when you can sneeze and pee on yourself because you can't hold your muscles tight enough for you not to pee, or you cough and you pee on yourself. That's incontinence, and there's different levels to it. It's there's some women that piss on themselves every single day just because of their muscles and disorders and that prohibit them from doing the things that most women typically tend to do. And that's just holding your pee. And so they did a study of a bunch of different women, and there's 1,000,001 pictures that you guys really don't care about. And so I won't even go down that rabbit hole. But the investigation into the origins of a copious vaginal discharge during intercourse, enough to wet the bed, and it's not urine. And so I think I want to read this one. A case study of large volume vaginal discharge during intercourse originally appeared in 1979. It's described as the course of investigation into its origin. It's argued that the wetting of the bed is not the pathological significance, but is within normal range of various of the psychological function of the glands of the skin. We got some knowledge. So basically, skeet. You can do all of that and more because it is not pee. It is squirting. So today is the day that the Lord hath made, and we figured out that squirting is a real thing. I'm glad we came to that conclusion. And so we went through an entire hour to figure out that when you squirt, you are actually not pissing the bed. And that's why the bed does not smell like you peed the bed, because it's not urine. It's a fluid, which makes sense to why when I'll keep my comments to myself. I will keep my comments to myself. But that makes a lot of sense. And I learned so much today. And I hope that you did as well. And if there was any form of exchange of energy here today, I really hope that you would like, share, or subscribe. TaylaAndre, everything TaylaAndre.com, SparkFMOnline.com. We have the best radio personalities in the entire New England. You won't find a better radio personality outside of New England. We really have the best for talk, the best for midday, the best for interviews, the best for politics, the best for music. And so make sure you tune in, SparkFMOnline.com. Watch us. Keep up with the Joneses, because we got a lot of things coming in store. If you know anybody looking to buy or sell property in the next 3 years, please tell them to call me, 617-459-0041. I have a couple buyers looking for a multifamily. So if you know anybody looking or interested in selling a multifamily, I have buyers that are trying so hard. I think the last time I checked, there's 21 multifamilies in the city of Boston for sale. 21 in total. I don't think you guys understand how crazy that is at any given time. And I think at one point in time last week, there were only 7 on the market. But hold on, I'm lying. I take that back. There were 7 multifamilies. There were 27 for sale in Boston, 4 sales. That's condos, that's land, that's multifamilies, that's single families in the entire city of Boston. So please, I have buyers. If you know anybody who's willing to sell, 617-459-0041. I love you. I appreciate you. Freaky Friday. Have a conversation with your friends. Find out which one of them squirt, which one of them don't. And then you can figure out which one of your friends you would be willing to sleep in their bed and which one you should not. No, I'm just joking. But I was unaware that such a limited amount of women actually can squirt or have ever squirted, and the amount of women who do not know how to make it on, like, happen on cue. And so that would be dope to maybe a gynecologist. Maybe a gynecologist would be the best person to talk to figure out how to make it happen on cue. But I do know that, the last thing I wanted to show you. So the clitoris photo. I want you guys to see what the actual clit looks like. No, and we're not doing all like the nastiness. We're going to do the school version. You feel me? So this is what I want you to see. And so this here, and you can't see it because it's on another page. So for all my mans, I'm really talking to the mans right now. So this right here is the clitoris, but this is two. So while you're doing something to this, just be mindful that this is all one together. You feel me? So I'm just trying to give you game, just a little bit of game. Maybe you didn't know that before. Maybe you just now learning. But yes, so this is like, and this is the other part. And so I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing day. Mwah. Yes, Nari. No, it's you. Exactly. Yes, Anari. Oh, I have to call to make an appointment because the girl said we can't just go and pick it up. You have to call and make an appointment. What time? All right. You don't have work today. I told you that. We can't do nothing until on Monday. And I'm going to have to cut my day short in order to do that thing. Monday. Because we can't do nothing today. Yeah, I might let you take the car. I might. Because I have things that I need to do on Monday, but you and Gabe need to work. So, I don't know. I'm going to pray about it. Where you about to go? Oh, I was about to say it's 9 degrees outside. I hope you ain't trying to go outside. You turn the heat back on or no? Oh. It's freezing downstairs. Go where? Yeah, nah. Let's just save that for when it's not 9 degrees outside. You're gonna walk in cold. You're gonna walk in cold. Okay. I'll call Anari, but I don't want you outside for real. About what? I spoke to tell me why my cousin died like 2 nights ago. Would do you remember Keely? You don't remember Keely. And he has a brother named Paul. Yeah, so Keely was the short one and Paul was the tall one, and their mom is Mary and Paul Bruce. Yeah. Yeah, yo, I can't. That's what Carol was calling me for yesterday, back to back to back, and I was missing a call. Yes, yo, like, of course I do. That was Anari. Yo, I grew up with Kelly. And I know his sister is like, I know his sister going through it. Like, Kelly was like Auntie Carol's. So we don't, we have speculations, but we don't know. So I'm not speaking on nothing until I know. Why? What you about to say? What you about to say? Yo, you're so Asaria. Yo, that's such an Asaria. She's like, yo, I know you're grieving right now, but yo, can I talk about this thing? I already talked to her. Nah, I put her in touch with Jose so everybody could go. I was like, yo, call Jose. Call Jose. She was like, Asaria? I was like, Asaria? Yo, everybody? I think you mispronounced everybody. Is that what you said? Yeah, nah. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Jasmine, why you always want to run away? I'm gonna name you Runaway, Asaria. Why you always trying to leave? Why you always trying to leave us? Well, we need a break from you. We need a break from you. How about no? But for real, y'all gonna go to your daddy's house though? Anybody? Anybody gotta go see Harvey? Like, y'all just gonna stay with me? Y'all can go see your daddy. Mm-hmm. Nah, go see your Faja. Oh yeah, nah. Your plans is ruined, honey. Uh. Yeah, that'll be cute. That'll be cute. And Baby Rain will be with his daddy. I'm gonna be on the beach. I will not be seeing none of y'all. We might be together, but I don't know y'all. What up? Ew, Nari. What do you mean, a friend? I know it wasn't a damn female. You gonna be 30 years old still bringing yourself. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll consider. What do you mean work and pay? Like, I already ordered postcards. They should be here soon. I just bought stamps. Yo, Jasmine, we have the Georgia postcards coming. So just wait a minute and I'll give you the Georgia names. What up? Elijah, can we talk about this at a later date? Okay, well, brainstorm, because that brainstorming don't mean actions. Yo, go take a midterm. Yeah. Go take a midterm. Come off mommy's phone. I missed that dance. Hold on. Let's talk real quick. So who doing the bathrooms? No, Nari, wrong answer. And I did the tub last night, and don't nobody take a shower until I take another bath. I know, take a shower downstairs. I want all my crystals where my crystals are. I want to take another bath. I want all my energy in the tub. No, just take a damn shower downstairs. Elijah, I need results, not excuses. Take a shower downstairs. I know, but just take a shower downstairs. Nari, you said Elijah, come off my phone. Can somebody please switch out the laundry? Where I did a load last night and I did a load today. Can somebody please take whatever is in the dryer and put it upstairs in my room and put whatever's in the wash in the dryer, but check the dryer, that thing, the lint thing. Don't make the lint stay there for mad long for a fire. I don't understand. Yes, you do. Don't nobody want to refill water? Don't nobody want to take thing out of the thing? What's the question, Anari? Yo, that's my question. Exactly. Why every time I check the lint thing is always full? Somebody else could take it out once in a while. Elijah, everything you're complaining about, I complain about. That's my thing. No, just take the lint out. When you switch it over, I do it every time. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. These are lies, Nari. These is lies. These is lies. Okay, I'm done with this conversation. I gotta go upstairs. I got like 4 meetings. Don't talk to me like that, Anari. What y'all gonna eat tonight? No, what are you gonna eat? What? I'm not doing that. I know. Anari always ready to do something when it's so beneficial. So beneficial. Jasmine, you're petty. You get it from your daddy. You're so annoying, Asaria. Jasmine, if he want to call me, he can call his mommy. Stop being petty and let him use the phone. Elijah, just why you can't wait until Monday? It's mad cold outside. I'm not arguing. Fine. You want to freeze your ass off? Take your ass outside and freeze. You sound annoying. Bye, baby.